So my name is Matt Mason. I'm an author. I wrote a book called The Pirate's Dilemma about how information is changing thanks to digital and the internet. I'm a former pirate radio DJ, strategy director at an ad agency. I guess that kind of sums it up. I remember being exposed to as a kid. I remember I was 9 years old and my dad had just bought me a Walkman. And I like music, but I didn't care that much about music as I did like playing with Transformers or whatever it was. But I had to go and buy a tape for this Walkman, and I remember walking into a record store and seeing 3 Feet High and Rising by De La Soul, which had just come out. So I guess it's like 88. And I bought it because I was a kid and it had luminous, bright colours on the. I didn't know anything about De La Soul, didn't know who they were. Picked it up, put it in my Walkman, and I remember the first song on it, Three, The Magic Number, just how it was cut up, made from hundreds of different samples. I remember it hitting me in the chest as a 9-year-old. I remember this idea just totally blowing my mind. Like, what is this? Like, who are these people? They're not that much older than me. He said he's 19. I'm going to be 19 in 10 years time. Like, just remember all these things, thinking about who are these people? What did they do? Like, what is this? How do I do this? Somebody did this with stuff. I could do this. Like, I just remember all these things running through my head, sitting in the back of the car on the way back from the record shop. It was like I'd been given like I'd seen like a secret universe of ideas that no one had told me about before. And those ideas, through hip hop, through so many other forms of expression and culture, have been broadcast to generations for like 3 decades more now, at a level, and like now we've got the tools to act on these ideas. Now anybody can broadcast anything, can pirate other people's content, can change anything. It's no surprise to me that things have changed, because the ideas have just been there like an undercurrent for a long time. No, do you know, I came to music piracy quite late. Like, I was a pirate radio DJ. I used to edit one of the largest music magazines in London, in the UK. So I didn't really get onto free music. I didn't really need to be downloading music early, because I come into my office every morning and there was a stack of records and CDs that had been sent to me by every label around the world. Like, that's kind of the thing. I grew up being a music journalist and a DJ, so free music was kind of always, that was my, every morning was like Christmas morning. There's just a big pile of free music to listen to, and so I didn't get onto it. I wasn't on it in 99. It was weird. I was working, my first job, I was interning in the press department at Atlantic Records in 99 when Napster launched, and nobody there knew what it was. Like, I didn't even have a computer. I mean, there was the kind of understanding of the internet was limited at best in the record industry. So I'm not surprised no one kind of really got on it. But it was when I stopped editing a magazine, I started looking around to buy music and realised, oh wait a second, this way of buying music is actually not as good as this way of buying music. And it's weird, actually. The whole time I was getting free music, I'd still spend like £100 a week on vinyl. Like, it took me the longest time to sort of not be addicted to vinyl anymore. And that was probably once I stopped thinking about music as a physical thing. Suddenly the album artwork became a little bit less important, and suddenly I realised that actually I don't need 5,000 records in my house. It is better if you just got them on a hard drive somewhere. You can do the same stuff with it. You can still mix it together. You can still do all the things you did with it. But for me, it was just about, there was a certain point when Napster, LimeWire, BitTorrent just was so much more efficient, so much better for getting music than any of the legal alternatives. And I remember, I think that the sort of my breaking point with iTunes was, I was trying to move some stuff around. I think from either out of iTunes or into iTunes, to music that I had made. I used to make like garage and breakbeat and grime records when I was a pirate DJ, and I couldn't move. It was telling me I couldn't move this music about because I didn't have the right to move it, and I'd made it, and I was just like, look, I I don't have time to understand all this. I just know that this package and all this DRM shit, fuck this, I don't have time for it. And that was it, and I was done. And that's when I really sort of started downloading music. And then I noticed in the last few years that actually I've stopped using the pirate sites as much as I did, because there isn't DRM on iTunes anymore, and Amazon's a really great place to buy MP3s, and Spotify's great, and there's all these great legal services starting now, and I've noticed that I've started spending more on music again. I think that's because I'm a bit older, and actually my time is more valuable than my money now, so I don't want to spend an hour on LimeWire looking for something only to get a virus. If it's 99 cents or 99 pence or whatever it is, I don't mind paying for it. But I don't know that, I mean, that's me, I'm 31, I don't know if that's the same for a 12-year-old anymore, you know? Yeah, when I was at Atlantic Records in 99, people didn't talk about Napster. Nobody really knew about it. Like, it wasn't something people really that interested in. I mean, at the time, the internet was kind of a new thing, you know, so people weren't talking about this or like this website or that website. People were just talking about websites. Oh yeah, like a website was something you started and then sold 5 minutes later for £100 million. Like, that's how people were thinking about websites. So the novelty of the web at that point, like, there were so many ideas about the internet that were wrong in 99. And look, to the music industry's credit and in their defence, there were people inside the record business in 99 trying to get this stuff legalised. I know the former head of Warner went to the EU in Brussels and tried to get Brussels to sanction a kind of legal digital music marketplace. And I'm telling this story, I'm probably messing it up in a million ways, but the EU said, if you can get the other labels to agree to this, then we'll do it. And the way I was told this story, all of the labels except one went along with it, and one of them said no, and so that never happened. So people in the record business were trying to legalise this stuff, and the problem with the record industry is it's kind of a young industry, and all the content industries, they're not good at playing together. Like, you talk to the car industry, or you talk to the oil industry over here, like, they're old industries, and they know when to work against each other and when to like work together. Like, they know when they need to go to Washington as an industry and lobby for something and get it done. Whereas the record industry, the entertainment businesses, they're not quite as good at that. They don't play nicely together. I think that's a really big part of why none of this got done, is because people tried to do things, and then one of the labels or a few of the labels said, no, we're not going to do that, we're going to do our own thing, and nothing ever happened. I mean, to me, that's the real crime with all this. The crime isn't people stealing music. That's kind of a symptom of the larger problem that an industry failed to do its job for 10 years. And it wasn't everybody in that industry's fault. It was a comedy of errors, and it was all these different things just not working out, and people being confused about the internet and what it meant, and people are still confused about it. I mean, we all are, right? I'm still confused about it. Everybody is. If you say you're not, then you're probably going to find you're wrong, because who knows what's going to happen. My guess is that the music industry is going to do better, and things are going to be good. I mean, if you look at the way digital music is trending and the way it's encouraging people to spend more money on buying other things, and if you look at the studies of people who pirate and download a lot of music illegally and how they then actually spend a lot of money on music because those are the people that really care about music, I mean, all the news is actually kind of good, you know. It's still worrying, and there's no like magic bullet, but things are on the up, it seems like. I mean, it seems like we're going to get somewhere else with this.